Every political generation has a defining moment. In Kwara State, that moment came to national attention in 2019, when 3 words became the language of a people seeking change. OTOGE, enough is enough. It was more than a slogan. It became a political verdict on decades of dominance. A rallying cry that moved from homes to markets, from campuses to mosques, from party meetings to polling units. Then came the question that would ignite a movement. When will our turn come? The answer came through a coalition of politicians, activists, party members, and ordinary citizens who believed the old order could be challenged and defeated. The struggle had been building since the 2011 ACN challenge to the Saraki establishment. By 2018, that earlier resistance found new energy in the All Progressives Congress (APC). 2 congresses came to symbolize the divide. At one venue stood the old structure, loyal to the Saraki-influenced order. At Akasanta, another group gathered, politicians and party members who believed Kwara was ready for a new political chapter. The phrase, OTOGE, soon crystallized the mood. It captured anger, hope, impatience, and the demand for political dignity. The crisis deepened when Dr. Bukola Saraki and his camp left the APC for the People's Democratic Party. That move changed the political equation. In Kwara PDP, old opposition figures who had spent years fighting the Saraki structure now faced the prospect of sharing a party with the very force they had opposed. The Akogun Iyola Oyedepo-led PDP tendency chose a strategic realignment. They moved into the APC and joined forces with anti-Saraki stakeholders already in the party. Honorable Bashir Omolaja Bolarinwa, widely known as BOB, emerged as the consensus key coordinator of the party structure in Kwara. With the coalition taking shape, OTOGE became more than an anti-dynasty slogan. It became a statewide political machine. By election season, the movement had acquired its own rhythm. Radio stations amplified the conversation. Youths carried the message into communities. Women's groups, artisans, professionals, religious networks, and local organizers turned the slogan into civic uprising. In 2019, the APC swept the state. It won the governorship, all 3 senatorial seats, all 6 House of Representatives seats, and all 24 seats in the Kwara State House of Assembly. The result was a political earthquake. The Saraki dynasty had been defeated at the ballot box. Abdurrahman Abdulrazak became the governor-elect on the back of a movement larger than any one individual. But even in victory, a question lingered. Would the coalition that delivered power be allowed to share in the principles it had fought for? When Abdurrahman Abdulrazak emerged as the candidate, the result was accepted by some, contested by others, and received with disappointment by many. The movement stood at a dangerous crossroads. Division could have handed victory back to the old order. It was at that fragile moment that BOB made a gesture that became part of OTOGE's political memory. He publicly appealed to the aspirants to put the collective project above personal ambition. The message was very simple. The party comes first. Kwara comes first. One after another, leading aspirants stepped back. They did not all do so happily, but they chose to restrain. They accepted the argument that a divided APC could not defeat the Saraki structure. But sacrifice creates expectations. And after power was won, those expectations would become the basis of a deeper conflict. The euphoria of victory did not last. According to many OTOGE stakeholders, the inclusive spirit that had fueled the movement began to fade. They argued that those who had built the struggle were gradually excluded from decision-making, appointments, and the party's internal management. It was highlighted that the relationship with the governor deteriorated shortly after the inauguration of the new administration, when Governor Abdulrahman Abdulrazak indicated that he was unwilling to continue working with Honorable Bashir Omolaja Bolarinwa as state party chairman, a development they regard as the beginning of the internal crisis. Several leaders within the original OTOGE coalition also alleged that the governor repeatedly portrayed them before party leaders and the public as politicians seeking access to state resources. They insist their disagreement centered on internal party administration, inclusion, and adherence to the principles that united the coalition in 2019. By 2021, the party had fractured again. On one side were leaders and members loyal to BOB and the original coalition. On the other side were figures aligned with the governor's camp, including the tendency that later consolidated around Sunday Fagbemi's leadership. Another major point of contention arose during the APC membership registration and revalidation exercise. Members of the Bolarinwa tendency alleged that many of their supporters were denied the opportunity to register or revalidate their membership in several locations across the state. They argued that the exercise was used to weaken their influence within the party. The crisis reached a disturbing point at a stakeholders meeting at the State Banquet Hall in Ilorin. Reports described a violent clash between rival APC tendencies. Supporters of Bolarinwa were attacked, humiliated, and injured. Bolarinwa himself was not spared. He was assaulted and almost stripped naked. What was meant to be reconciliation became a public symbol of party breakdown. Feeling excluded and unsafe within the party they helped build, many original OTOGE loyalists moved away from the APC structure and found refuge elsewhere, including the Social Democratic Party (SDP). Meanwhile, the governor's camp strengthened its hold on the official party machinery. For many members of the original coalition, the cumulative effect of exclusion from party structures, disagreement over leadership, disputes surrounding membership registration, and failed reconciliation efforts convinced them that meaningful participation within the APC had become increasingly difficult. While some chose to remain within the party and continue pressing for reform, others pursued their political aspirations through alternative platforms, including the Social Democratic Party (SDP) and the New Nigerian People's Party (NNPP). Their grievances extended beyond appointments. They pointed to disputes over local government administration, alleged exclusion from party decisions, insecurity concerns, vindictiveness, and tyrannical disposition of the governor. An example of such was the demolition of Honorable Moshood Mustafa's property, Crystal Mall, an action his supporters described as a political vendetta over disagreement. By the time the succession conversation began, distrust had added. The coalition that once defeated the dynasty now saw itself confronting a new form of internal domination. As the 2027 elections approached, the battle for succession reopened old wounds. Governorship aspirants, National Assembly hopefuls, the State Assembly contenders entered the race expecting a transparent and inclusive process. Publicly, the governor spoke of openness and party democracy, but aggrieved aspirants and stakeholders described his leadership style as intolerant of dialogue, negotiation, and genuine internal consultation. To them, he was not acting as a democrat seeking consensus, but as a leader determined to impose outcomes and manage disagreement through confusion, pressure, and control. On May 19, 2026, barely 2 days before the APC governorship primary scheduled for May 21, Governor Abdulrazak publicly endorsed Ambassador Abdul Fattah Yahya Seriki as his preferred successor. The endorsement was presented as the product of extensive consultations. But to many aspirants and stakeholders, it was confirmed that the process had already been narrowed from above. The confusion deepened when, after endorsing Seriki, the governor's political direction later shifted about 24 hours later towards his preferred political heir, widely described by critics as his political godson, the Speaker of the State Assembly, Yakubu Saliu Danladi. For the G15 and other aggrieved stakeholders, the episode became evidence of deliberate manipulation, first raising one expectation, then redirecting the party towards another outcome. For those who had carried the struggle from the 2011 ACN resistance, sacrificed in 2018, accepted reconciliation in 2023, and waited for a more inclusive process in 2026, this became the final straw. They argued that the ideals of OTOGE, inclusion, fairness, accountability, dialogue, and people-driven leadership had been abandoned from within. Out of that anger came the G15 coalition, a bloc of 10 leading governorship aspirants, 3 serving senators, 4 House of Representatives members, elders, youth and women leaders, and other APC stakeholders. Their message was direct. The party in Kwara needed rescue before 2027. On Monday, July 6, 2026, the G15 took its message to the streets of Ilorin. The solidarity walk drew thousands of APC supporters and formally declared the relaunch of the OTOGE movement ahead of 2027.
To thank our father, the president of the nation, President Bola Ahmed Tinubu, and to show him our strength that Kwara APC, this is Kwara APC here. We are one family, and we so much believe in the leadership of Mr. President, and to thank him as well.
And we are protesting with this march so as to register our rejection of whatever processes and the way and manner the so-called leadership in the state have endorsed a particular candidate. We are not asking that, or we are not saying that we don't like anybody. What we are saying is that the process and the manner at which it was arrived at, we are all stakeholders.
More importantly, we have a leadership that doesn't carry anybody along as far as party structure is concerned, as far as governance is concerned, and as far as this primary is concerned. And that's why all of us came together to say that we have to rescue our state and our party. The OTOGE we did in 2019, we have the worst form of it now in terms of imposition, and that's what we are rejecting.
But what we have witnessed is that there was no inclusion, there was no respect for stakeholders, no respect for our elder, no respect for even members of National Assembly and other gubernatorial aspirants. And that is why, this rally is taking place today, to say that in Kwara State, what has happened did not respect party members, and party members are not happy, and it's unacceptable today.
Now, we are facing a situation where if we are not careful, the curtain will be drawn on APC. Let me repeat again. If you are not careful, there will be a midnight for APC, and everybody will go into in Kwara State in particular. That's what we are trying to protect.
The G15 also made a bold political claim that Governor Abdurrahman Abdurazak no longer enjoyed the support of the majority tendency within the Kwara APC. The party that once marched together under the banner of OTOGE was now a house divided. The consequences could be profound. A divided ruling party gives the opposition an opening. The PDP and other political forces are watching. The question is whether APC can resolve its internal conflict before the 2027 election cycle becomes irreversible. To the G15, OTOGE Reloaded is a fight to reclaim the soul of a movement. To the governor's camp, it is an internal revolt driven by disappointed ambitions. To ordinary citizens, it may simply be another test of whether political promises can survive the realities of power. In 2019, Kwara answered one question. In 2027, another question awaits. Can a movement born to end political dominance survive division from within? The answer lies not in political speeches. It lies in the people of Kwara. The clock is ticking. The opposition is watching. And the people of Kwara are listening.